Frugmor is a thick-skinned tripkey, so a small toad person. He's just over half a meter tall. He's got leathery green skin and a long white beard. And he's wearing a purple robe and a pointy hat, and he's carrying a wooden staff. And I guess you would know him from around the town. He comes from a family of spellcasters, and if you ask him about his past, he'll peer up at you and say,
"Well, I am a Purpleberry, and our family has long protected the town with our magic, and it may not seem this way to you, but I am very tall.
Don't like
There
the smell.
seems to be some kind of opening in the wall over there. Oh, I thought there was only supposed to be one monster."
Tripkeys only live for like 60 years, so he's actually 36.
Don't worry, I was the one that decided to come down here into this dark cellar in the first place. Ooh.
Frugmor's hat flies off and he nearly drops his staff and like stumbles backwards into Garrick, like trying to like shake this thing off of his hand.
Oh, get off me! Get off me!
Frugmor stabilizes his hat on his head and tries to sort of jump over here. He nearly like slips over through this blood. He's like,
"Whoa. Excuse me, I'm not feeling so good."
Runs over here. He's gonna also nearly get tangled in these webs. He'll spin about, and I guess he's just going to... He just sort of points his quarterstaff at this rat and just says,
"I think you need to drink some water."
And he's gonna cast Spout.
This is a little gift from the swamp.
Well, he will sort of hold his staff up against the wall to kind of stabilize himself and take a deep breath and point at this rat that's closest to him. Just this bolt of magical energy will come out of his finger and just kind of stuttering across the room, disappearing and reappearing as it flies towards this rat, and he's going to cast Phase Bolt. Oh, it just sort of disappears and reappears, so it as it's flying through the air, and I guess this rat that's closest to Frugmor kind of sees it coming, but it just winks out of existence and appears right next to the other rat's head and just basically explodes on impact, just... blows this rat up across the ground. He'll then sort of wave his staff around and generate this shield around him. So just gonna cast shield.
I've felt better. Some of you don't look so good either. Where are those tools? They must be in here somewhere. Oh, I haven't been able to heal myself either.
What do we know about this monster, by the way? Like, do we have a description of it? Before we leave the room, can Frugmor just have a quick glance around just to see if there is any evidence of this monstrous creature that might give him some insight into what it is or what sort of threats it might pose?
Oh, I think I found something. I get the impression from this hole that someone with some intelligence has broken through here, not just some kind of senseless monster.
And Frugmor will try to move quietly as he follows into here. Lifts his skirts and kind of creeps along on his toes. Is there a rock or something up here that looks stable enough to tie a rope around it? He kind of holds up his hands. He sees like big, like padded fingers.
Perfect.
I can see reasonably well in this gloom, and it looks to me like there's some sort of big spider web or something in there. Just a bigger chamber lies ahead with something sticky, perhaps. Well, I was just going to say my talents are more in the realm of not being at the front, but I can certainly see under your legs. I've got a good vantage point from this tall cliff. I'm nearly as tall as Garrick now.
And if Frugmor moves down here, is it going to be difficult for him to climb down this 2 foot? Okay, sweet. He will sort of leap down here, and he's like,
maybe I can keep that thing over there while we pick it off from here.
And he will kind of touch his palm with the tip of his staff, and this little like sparkle of green energy will kind of swirl around, and this what looks like some sort of viney plant begins to sort of develop in his palm, and he's going to like lob it at this spider from here, and it will hopefully fly through the air, and if it hits this spider, it'll kind of grow out and kind of wrap around the spider. He's just casting Tanglefoot. Okay, so it doesn't get immobilized, it just gets the -10.
I think it worked. Oh, perhaps I could take one of them. Well, especially I'm often standing at the back. I could also perhaps feed a potion to somebody that is in need as well, so maybe that makes sense. Well, it might be worth checking to see if there's anything up there.
Alright, Frugmor is just going to lean around this rock and he's just going to fire a phase bolt from the tip of his little green finger at this skeleton guard at the top. And then he'll just follow up by just generating a shield around himself.
Alright.
It seems to be a bit resistant to that piercing damage, friends.
He will try to cause this like spout of water to just burst out of the ground like underneath this one and just blow it up into the ceiling. I was going to ask, does it appear as though this bludgeoning damage? Oh, yep.
Oh, didn't like that, did you, Bonesy?
Other than that, I will just cast shield.
Alright.
Okay, Frugmor will take a step forward. He's just going to sort of hoist his staff up over his shoulder. He's kind of holding it almost like a spear, and he just whispers a word to it. Seek! And throws the spear, the staff, and is going to target this skeleton back here with it. So he's using this hand of the apprentice thing, sort of levitate through the air. All right, so 6 bludgeoning. Nice. It just goes like straight through its head. Just its head shatters. The staff kind of like spins around the room, like flies around the room, like, and then comes back to Frugmor. Just misses Lorcan.
Seemed a little bit dire there for a moment, that's for sure. Would anyone perhaps like to have a drink of this healing potion that I found earlier in the other room?
Frugmor can also attempt to do a medicine check. Yeah, he'll sort of jump up in the air a bit to try to catch it. Yeah, Frugmor will sort of turn it over in his hand. I guess it sort of like lights up his eyes as he's looking down at it. Ooh. Does he know anything about what this crystal might be, or does he recognize this type of crystal maybe? Has he read anything about such crystals?
I think this will just light our way. Well, I'm just saying I don't think it'll do anything other than that, as far as I know. Here you go. I can see fine in the dark. I think I may have dropped something in here. Just one moment. Oh, no, I had it with me all along, sorry. Before you open that door, I think I see something down that passage to the south. I thought I saw something moving around down there. Well, they might not even be monsters. Perhaps we should try and say hello. They look like some people that I used to know in the swamp.
Frugmor sees Garrick moving quietly. He'll also begin tiptoeing. Well, actually, I just realized Frugmor's not even from the swamp. He's supposed to be from this village that we're all from. Is there a swamp near the village? Okay, that's good. Maybe he kind of lives there with the Frugmor, with the Purpleberry family.
I thought maybe we could speak to them. Oh, perhaps if we could convince them, I'm not sure. Are you all there? What sort of shiny things are you looking for? Perhaps we could help you in exchange for something. Does your boss tend to punish you quite a lot? What if one of you could be boss instead?
20.
What I was thinking is, perhaps we could come to some sort of arrangement. Perhaps you could find somewhere else to live where you could be boss, and we, in exchange, would set you free of this boss who punishes you.
Yeah, Frugmor is just holding a staff in his right hand, and he can hold the torch in his left hand.
I am feeling quite well.
Oh, in that case, Frugmor will put his torch on the ground. He'll put it next to him, not under him. Does Frugmor have any knowledge about this squid? Does he recognize it as maybe some sort of idol or god or something like that?
I think this is some sort of religious octopus, but I'm not really sure what sort.
Yeah, is there anything under the bowl or around this altar that the bowl is on?
Are you okay in there, Garrick? Is that some kind of spell? That's very interesting indeed. Do you mind if I hang on to this?
Could we see what that kobold was doing, though, when we first saw it? Frugmor will kind of tiptoe past Yolo. He's pretty small, so maybe he even runs under his legs. And he will... Maybe he's going to point his staff at this one up here, and he'll just be like, "Stay where you are!" and attempt to cast Tanglefoot on it. Viney tendrils kind of come out of the ground below him and wrap around his arms and his legs. I will stride. We'll run over here. Wait, 5, 10, 15, 20. And I guess he will stride again. He's going to keep running a little bit. kind of looks around this room as he like runs over here. As he runs over here, he just sort of like scrapes his staff on the ground and just feels this like doof, 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 like a couple of bumps. He kind of turns around and he's like,
I wouldn't walk over here. There's some sort of pressure plate on the floor or something.
And he will then turn around and he can't really do much else. I guess he will just cast shield. Okay, as this shield of energy appears around him, and what was this attack? A javelin? No, a spear. As this spear just kind of like just pierces through the shield a little bit and just gets him in the belly, like through the beard. He's like, whoa! He's just going to sort of react by just pointing his staff in this direction and just casting a phase bolt. And I guess he gets this +1 to the attack roll from the anthem. It just sort of flashes as it goes through the air, just this purple energy sort of appearing and disappearing, like just flies across the room. Every time it appears, it kind of lights up the whole chamber, and then it appears right before this guy's chest and just explodes into him. Into her, sorry. And then Frugmor will dive behind this column.
Yes, we haven't found Zolgren yet, I don't think.
That wasn't Zolgren?
I'll keep an eye out and make sure there's nothing following us.
What can Frugmor tell about the situation down the stairs from where he is? What can he hear, maybe? Can I delay my action? Maybe I'll just delay it until I'll let you know when I want to jump back in. Yeah, you can just hear Frugmor's wet little frog feet kind of pattering down this echoey stairwell. He's going to emerge in this room and kind of look around. Oh, okay. I guess both of these guys look uninjured. I guess he will just clasp his staff with both hands above his head and bring it down loud onto the ground, like, and just cause this spout of water to come up underneath this one directly in front of him. So on a save, nothing else happens, does it? In that case, well, that's everything he can do. So that's me. Oh! Alright, Frugmor will just try to get this kobold up here with a phase bolt through the table. He, in that case, well, he's just gonna run up the stairs a little bit. He just kind of hops up the stairs.
Excuse me.
Okay, Frugmor will run down here, his purple cloak and his beard are sort of flowing behind him. He is going to breathe in a big breath of air as he comes running down here. You see it's like green belly sort of like bulging below his beard, and his cheeks kind of fill up with this air as he's just sort of like he's going to run over here and just exhale this puff of shimmering toxic poison directly into the face of this kobold as he stands over Garrick's body.
Well, I just wanted to know if it looked like he could hold on a moment longer. I do have...
Frugmor's going to pull out this potion of healing from his backpack, or from under his robe.
I have got this.
He's like leaning over Garrick, ready to deliver it. Is there anything in any of these boxes or barrels? Frugmor goes rummaging through a couple of them, opening the lid of this crate.
Oh, I think I see something in here.
Does Frugmor... Is he able to work out what this does?
Ooh, I think I've read about these. This bracelet, I think it'll make you lighter on your feet and better at doing acrobatics. Does that benefit anyone? I'm not sure that would be in my wheelhouse.
Me most of all.
Who said that? Oh, sorry. I thought it was coming from over there. It's very echoey room. This is a bracelet of dashing, if I remember correctly what I read. Here you go. You're rather dashing yourself. It suits you.
Hey.
This smelly water reminds me of the swamp. I like it.
Frugmor will quietly step through these waters over to here.
I can create a pit of mud to slow them down, but I'm not sure these creatures will be slowed down by mud.
Does Frugmor recognize this creature or anything about it? Are they going to be very powerful for us to handle?
These creatures seem territorial. We are, after all, after a kobold boss. Maybe we don't need to fight these things at all.
Does Frugmor get the sense there's some sort of magic going on in here? Some kind of... Would he be able to glean anything by the fact that they're all different colors? Does it remind him of anything maybe? Frugmor will definitely explain that to everyone.
I think I've read about this sort of thing.
What about this central area?
I'm not entirely convinced that we should mess with this. We don't even really know what it'll do. Oh dear, something's challenging me to face a trial of fire. Oh, nice, Ratty. I don't know if these things are going to attack us or anything.
So did the orb just kind of explode, or?
I was wrong. I think they are going to attack after all.
Okay, so I gotta make this fortitude save. Alright, he'll just kind of hold his breath. And he is... if this thing can't really see him very well. He's gonna risk just moving without stepping. Okay, he sort of walks backwards over here, sort of splashes into this water as he's kind of walking away. And then he will, I guess he'll cast Spout at the dog.
Maybe I can put them out with some water. Oh, it's coming at me.
Frogmor will go splashing up through the water up here. I guess the bottom of his robe is getting all soaked in water, and he'll whip around and then fire a phase bolt at this dog.
I also have a healer's toolkit if anyone needs it. Here you go, I'll try to patch you up. What the hell is that? Oh, I don't have one of those, sorry. Well, I just had to get used to that extra thing that he's got, and then now I know. This thing.
Frogmor points at the thing.
Oh, I've never seen. I don't have one of those. Well, you learn something new every day, and I'm glad to become better at medicine. I'll know how to treat one of those next time. Next time I see one, if I ever see one again. Oh, I'm barely injured. Apparently, I forgot about that in the last moment. You've slipped over in that blood. There's some sort of fish statue in there or something. I'm kind of a little bit nervous to look at it. Oh, this statue looks a lot less terrifying now that we're in here.
Does Frugmor notice anything unusual about this statue? Does it have, I don't know, any gleaming bits? Any seams in it?
Well, I think something's in my eye, actually. I told you I had something in my eye. It's some water.
Frugmor just sort of shakes his head to try to get this water out of his eyes. His, like, big green lips are just... He's gonna, like, run up here and be like,
oh, I see what you're trying to do. Let me give it a go.
And he will attempt to disable this device.
Ooh, seems to be stuck or something. Do these things even work? Oh dear, I think it's about to do something again. Oh, I guess the statue spray thing isn't working.
As Frugmor is blown by this jet of water into this pile of stones over here in the corner, you can see that he's, like, reaching into his robe, and he's kind of, like, halfway pulling out, like, a potion of healing. Like he's just about to kind of pull it out and drink it. Flies across the room and sort of drops this vial on the ground. Oh, he does have some sort of crystal or something that he found, or that we found.
Ooh, what? Who said that? It takes me quite a while to wake up sometimes. Thanks for the healing, YOLO.
Frogmor kind of like looks at the device again, looks at the door, looks at YOLO. Yes, well, he'll use action to stand, and then...
I think I better have a drink of this, healing potion before I come back in here and have another crack at that. I'll leave this to you, Logan.
He's gonna run out of the room. Do I need to use an action to withdraw the healing potion from my inventory? Okay, cool. Well, he'll sort of, I guess he kind of picked it up off the floor before he ran, so I'll just use an action to do that, so he's got it in his hand. Frogmor pokes his head around the corner.
Is it all over? Usually I like a bit of water in the face, but not at such an extreme velocity.
He's going to quaff a potion. Ooh.
I'll be okay. Apparently I've seen better days, but I think I can push on. No, the longer we take, the more of the town's fish will be eaten. We can't have that. Where did you hear that? Oh, yes, actually, it's my hometown as well. Of Otari. It's alright, we've all taken a blow to the head. I'll just take one of those if you don't mind, just in case.
Yeah, he drank his own one and then he took one more, but he hasn't drunk that one. Okay, Frugmor will peek around the corner and take in the scene. Okay. Alright, he will run. Ooh. Can he, from where he is, target this guy here? I can see him, but I don't know. Sorry, wanted to target him with a phase bolt. Nice. Okay, he just kind of points his staff up over Garrick's head.
Excuse me?
Just unleashes this flashing bolt of energy.
Oh, well, I guess I'll get the next one.
Okay, Frugmor will come running in and... Oh, he sees this guy hiding in the corner to his left. He's going to try to hit him with a phase bolt. This energy just kind of like just destroys this cobweb. Just sort of spreads out and across it and just disintegrates it.
I see you hiding there.
Just jumps out of the way.
No, on second thoughts, maybe you should just stay there.
That's it.
Oh.
Frugmor sees YOLO fly across the room. I think he is also going to try to fly across the room. I've got this elemental aid as well. Is that it? Alright, cool. He will just sort of squat down and leap into the air just like a frog. His purple cloak sort of blows up around his chin. You can see his legs and his backside as he kind of flies over here and like lands on this ledge over here. Oh, okay, so that's a wall. My bad. Am I elevated there? I can't quite see. Alright, I will now just attempt to, I guess, target this one, with, I guess, just phase bolt again. Oh, okay, I want to use a hero point for that one if that's okay. Oh, I thought it was going to be a 4. Excellent. Alright, that's me. Alright, Frugmor's just going to keep going with these phase bolts. He's going to target this one here. Fuck it, I'm going to burn my last hero point. Let's try it again. Ooh, nice. This one, it just like whistles. Sorry, that was pretty loud.
You there, kobold!
And it just hits him in the face. And then I'll follow by casting shield. Frugmor just steps to the side gracefully.
Good try, old chap. Tally-ho.
We'll just kind of run over here, pull the cork off this potion and tip it into Garrick's mouth. Can I slightly retcon something? Would it be okay if I had moved over to here before I did that? Also, sorry Garrick, I just realized I ran around and effectively hid behind a prone, nearly dead ally. I wasn't thinking. Frugmor is also going to generate this field of shimmering magical energy around him as soon as possible.
This is something I've been working on. I think probably I should pull it out now. I'll just take another one of these healing potions if that's okay. Also,
Frugmor kind of whispers.
I think I can see something up in that cave up there. With my dark vision, something moving about. Looks like maybe some more kobolds. One of them I think looks pretty big. Oh, careful. If you make too much noise, you might have to see that far. Do you think that's Zolgren?
Okay, Frugmor holds out his left hand, palm up, and this big sort of wobbly brown mass begins like forming above his hands. Just this big kind of globule of jelly. Oh, sorry, there's lots of police going by. And it's just this big globule of brown and green goo, which he is just going to lob up over these stairs and into the room. He just says,
let's make it a bit more slippery like a swamp in here.
And he's going to cast Grease. Basically, just want to try to get like this. 4 contiguous 5-foot squares. Oh, maybe I'm not fully understanding what this looks like, sorry. Oh, only 4 squares, okay. Like this one, and then these 3. Does that work? So they gotta give me reflex saves or they fall over. Oh, that's alright. And then he will then use his last action to use a manipulate action to pull out this spell scroll that he has, this spell scroll of force barrage. It's only if he walks into the area. So it's when it hits him and then if you walk into it. Bit underwhelming. Okay, letting his mind wander from the grease of the swamp that didn't work out so well. He turns his eyes on... actually, can Frugmor see Zolgren? I think somewhat all he needs, he's going to look down at this scroll that he's holding and begin to read the arcane sigils that are written on it, and you can hear his voice sort of echo out through the chamber as it's imbued with this magic that he's reading. And he's going to use 3 actions to send some force bolts towards her through the room. The tip of Frugmor's pointy hat is just sticking up from these stairs. He's trying to hide. Frugmor will jump up here, kind of bound up the stairs. He's going to hold his staff above his head and say,
I summon the salty water of the marsh.
And this big bubble of salt water is going to kind of envelop his staff, and then he's going to like fling it in her direction, like and just this bolt of briny salt water is just going to come out of the staff and just fly across the room. Sweet. So bludgeoning damage, and then what was it? Success. There's a critical success and a success. So blinded for 1 round, and then she can use a interact action to wipe the salt water from her eyes to end the condition. Alright, sweet. Frugmor closes his eyes briefly and absorbs this like pulse of green energy from his staff. And then he's just going to cast Briny Bolt again. Oh, sorry. I should have actually stated that I was using that feature. I thought the sound vroom would be sufficient to communicate what I was doing. All right. Ooh, did that do it? Awesome. So 3 damage, but she's blinded again, I guess. And I think that drain bonded item is free. Nice. I'll just raise my shield. Ooh, wand of heal. We needed that. Yeah, maybe we shouldn't have all clustered together at the entrance like this.
Just turn me into fried frog's legs. What's happening? What's going on? Oh, that's some pretty good soothing.
Frugmor picks up his staff, stands up, and backs away into the darkness.
I'll be back in a moment.
Just assume that we killed the dragon though, right? So this is a pretty difficult beginner's box set, it seems. Yeah, I made a really janky character as well, just went with like all flavor and no power, so that didn't help. Thank you so much for running it. It was really awesome. I've been looking for a Pathfinder game and that was fantastic, so I really appreciate it. And thanks everyone. Good game. It was a lot of fun. See you guys. Have fun.